So after doing some extensive research, I found that there are 6 main factors that keep people poor. The first is not having a budget. One of the main principles of generating wealth is being able to pay yourself first. However, if you don't have a budget, you're forced to pay everybody else first besides yourself. And then eventually, when it's time to pay yourself, you realize that there's no money left. Think about it. The Department of Defense, businesses, sports teams, they all have budgets that they follow year to year, month to month. In order to actually gain wealth, you need to know what's coming in and what's going out. This also eliminates spontaneous shopping. Studies have shown that the average person spends around $450 a month on spontaneous shopping. These spontaneous purchases include gadgets and clothing. Let's say you see an item on sale that was originally $500 and it's now worth $300. Just because you buy it doesn't mean you're saving $200. You're actually losing $300. When stores market items as a great deal, they know exactly what they're doing. The marketing industry is a $475 billion industry. Everything from the colors, how things are organized in the store are all systematically done in order to enter your subconscious mind. If this doesn't convince you to start a budget today, then maybe this might. The majority of divorces occur due to financial reasons. The research actually showed that people aren't getting divorced because they don't make enough money. They typically get divorced because of how one of the spouses handles money. So with a clear-cut budget in place, you can eliminate spontaneous spending and actually set clear-cut standards for both people in a relationship. The second thing that keeps most people poor within the United States is being too comfortable with debt. The majority of us right outside of high school are being taught to take on debt in order to go to college. At some point, we end up getting a credit card, maybe 1, 2, 3. At some point, since we're still in college, we might pick up a part-time job of some sort. At this point, you might purchase a vehicle, which you're going to get a car payment for, or you might get a car as a graduation present to yourself, which will require a car payment as well. So at this point in your life, whether you're still in college or just starting your career, you've already accrued a lot of debt. And then you go into your 30s and 40s, maybe you finished paying off some of this debt, maybe you haven't, but your next purchase is probably going to be a home. At this stage of your life, you could easily find yourself having 4 different types of debt without even realizing it. At this point, we're already making it almost impossible for someone to build wealth because before they even get their paycheck, it's going to be allocated towards 4 different debt payments. So throughout this individual's life, even though they're making more money over time, they're also accruing more debt. So there's no way for them to scale upwards in life. The third habit that keeps people poor is not setting measurable goals. So for instance, this is an easy one to use, so I'll use this as an example. Everyone has a New Year's resolution, typically to get in shape. But this doesn't really say much and it's not quantifiable at all. Therefore, it's not realistic and it's never gonna happen. What's your definition of being in shape? Do you want to lose a certain amount of weight? Do you want to be able to compete in some kind of competition? What exactly do you want to do and how can you quantify it? And then once you can quantify it, you see the time frame it will take you to reach that goal. You can then keep track of your progress or even do backwards planning to see where you need to be every single week, every single month. However you want to actually quantify and track your progress, you can actually do that and actually make sure that you're following the track you need to be on in order to meet that goal. For those of you who don't follow quantifiable goals, thank you because I've really been appreciating the empty gyms. The fourth thing that's keeping you poor is not valuing your time. And today, the biggest thing that's killing people is social media. Studies show that most people spend 3 to 5 hours each day on social media. This has become what's known as the social media vortex. This is where the habits of the poor is basically spending more time each day entertaining themselves, where the habits of the rich, they're spending more time educating themselves throughout the day. You can educate yourself by watching podcasts, watching YouTube videos on personal finance, such as this one, or reading books. The thing is social media is you quickly go on to check one thing, next thing you know, 30 minutes later, you're still stuck. An hour later, you're somewhere and you have no idea how you even got to that screen. Social media as a whole is great for marketing because it encourages and endorses spending habits, poor spending habits at that. Habit number 5 that keeps people poor is associating with the wrong people. Yes, it is true. You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with most. And yes, your network is your net worth. Now, this was something that was hard for me to accept at first until I really started hanging around people that motivated and inspired me to be better. This isn't to necessarily say that you might be hanging around people who are bad influences, but let's say, for example, if you hang around people that have very expensive tastes, the likelihood that you're saving money each month is going to be slim to none. Rather, you're probably paying for very expensive restaurants, buying very expensive clothing, and taking out auto loans in order to look the road. The sixth habit that keeps people poor is not investing. Now, this last point is really a culmination of all the other points that were made previously. If you're not properly managing your money, your time, or the people you surround yourself with, there's no way you'll have money at the end of each month in order to save, and then money that you can take from there and invest afterwards. You're not going to become rich off of saving money alone. As the adage goes, you make your first 10,000 by working hard. You make your first 100,000 and million by working smart. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure to subscribe and like and share with a friend.